What was the worst thing you did as a teenager to earn money? Teganako 112 says, I once chugged Tabasco sauce to see my neighbor's boobs at the age of 12. She was 16. Worth ITTTT14UR3N says, I showed my boobs to a few male friends. For a 6-pack of shitty beer. That I was already too wasted to drink. Mrs. Flabeo says, I sold the leaves off pot plants to kids who thought they could smoke them to get high. I used the money to buy actual pot. Questaltruism says, was the protection for prostitutes, i.e., sat by the pay phone and wrote down license plate numbers in case a girl didn't come back. One time, a truck sped back to the spot, and a girl just rolled out. He threw her out after he was done cause he didn't want to pay. He paid, later. Uric says, downloaded porn, burnt it on a CDR and sold it to my classmates for about 5–10 euros per CD. Makikon says, not for money, but one time I chewed up a really hot pepper and kept it in my mouth for 30 seconds so that my friend would let me borrow Street Fighter II Turbo for the entire weekend. Another time I ate a sample of insanely hot sauce and didn't drink anything for about an hour. I did this to get a cassette tape of Slayer's Seasons in the Abyss. Name deleted says, had sex. A girl paid me to cheat on another girl. Only I wasn't dating the other girl. Boy was she mad when she found out. Tefa says, mom was alcoholic so sent me to do construction about 4 hours drive away to earn money for her habit. Ended up working there for a month during summer holiday, not going home once and sharing a 2-man caravan with 6 people when I was 13. Captain Capslock says, I worked in a call center. They made us sell cell phones with 2-year contracts. I once sold a phone to a man with 1 year to live. Rayask says, there was this autistic kid in my class and no one would hang out with him. I took pity on him one day and decided I would be friends with him. I went to go strike up a conversation and he told me he didn't have any money today. I was confused so I asked him what he meant. Turns out he was paying Simon, the most popular kid in the school, $20 a week to hang out and talk to him. I told him I would do it for $10 a day. This went on for about 2 months until he found real friends. I still feel like a douchebag to this day. Foster Wallace Jr. says, worked for Blockbuster during its downfall. Place was weird. Mr. Notoriousman says, my friend and I went door to door selling popcorn from a made-up Boy Scout troop. We actually made a lot of real good cash for a few days. Bought a bunch of Pokémon cards and candy. I was 12 or 13 at the time. No one was suspicious at all. Tosynthus Hit 1 says, did homework, papers, and tests for People Tame. I know, although I knew a guy whose sister would give $5 BJs in the school bathroom. My friends started going from lunch table to lunch table, collecting donations for the fund. This fund had a goal of $5. You could probably guess what it was for. Redmaskedit says, bounced money through fake PayPal accounts. A fake account gives another fake account $1,000, keep it passing on. Get rid of the $1,000 either by withdrawing or spending. Issue chargeback on all accounts. I fucked up by giving the money to my real account. Nonetheless, it was a good Christmas. Steam had a wonderful sale. Trollboogies says, I was in elementary school, not a teenager, boot. I took a jar and walked around my apartment complex and knocked on doors and asked for spare change for my church choir. It wasn't for my church choir. Peezy says, I would get a lot of weird looks telling people I donated plasma for cash. Still have track marks that I show people sometimes. Still don't get how it's donation but $60 a week ain't bad for 3 hours of study time. Fun Place Velvety 123 says, I let a guy piss on me every morning. He would always get me fresh sheets though. Jungled Zero I says, I fucked a fat chick for $800. Name Deleted says, stole Xbox and PlayStation games from Walmart when the classic and older games were not locked up, then opened them in the parking lot, and then traded them to GameStop. That was literally next door. Day of the Deed 204 says, I used to work at a movie theater. Every night they'd throw away any popcorn that wasn't sold. I took some of it, as we were allowed to, and sold it the other high school students. Basically they were huge bags of popcorn. I immediately regretted it as some of them would open the popcorn in the middle of class and the smell of it would make me sick. It just reminded me work way too much. Psychonator says, worked in a tomato canning plant. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Well, this was in 1979. No air conditioning, average temp was around 105 degrees Fahrenheit, unloaded full cans of stewed tomatoes straight from the pressure cooker into boxes and stacked the boxes by hand on pallets 8 hours straight for $3.75 an hour.